then you keep like, yeah, oh, right, really, yes.
Right.
You got Cindy. She's
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a communication.
Have you?
This is a lot.
The last time I was able to have one, this way.
Andrea, what's the last name?
Hey, Randy.
All right.
You ready?
I have a
Well, hopefully that's
Hold on.
Yeah.
So, Jed, you there? Jed?
She worked for Seiko for 33 years. So.
Jed. Hold on.
3 years.
All right.
yes.
Yeah, you know, I admire people that can do that. I was thinking the other day, that was not one of my strong suits.
I can make you some. Well,
There's only one agenda item.
From you?
Oh, there's some hats back there. Did you grab her?
Yeah, I got changed.
I figured this is the last time since that point you doing the press things. I thought they were using it.
Do the paper and pen. Yeah, I did
Well, I knew they were well.
Tammy and Mike Patton and then Greg and then Tony. Tammy, Mike Patton. Okay, what was your guys' name?
Oh, thanks. Tim and Jerry.
No, sir.
Tim and Jerry Cook.
Kim and Jerry.
Kim? Thank you. Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry. No, they're from there. There, you can put it back in the middle back there when you're done.
Don, is there any extra agendas or no?
No.
Okay.
I'll have to get used to doing that since Sarah's gone.
One agenda item.
We had one, that was it. There was
Okay.
Tim and Jerry Cook and then I can't remember.
No, just the agendas
You
they
told me your
normally hand
name
out.
and I thought too much. They're back here.
Us?
Yeah.
Pat, Mike and Tammy Patton back there.
Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, go.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. My name is David Moore. I'm the chair for the Black Canyon City Water Improvement District. And I would like to call to order the Thursday, August 22nd, 2024 special board meeting, which is being held at the library and is open to the public. Our first order of business is roll call. Again, I'm Dave Moore, chair.
Dorothy Moore, treasurer. Lisa, sorry. Go ahead.
Randy?
Randy Rubina, secretary on the phone.
Okay, we have 3 board members present, which meets quorum. And from management, we have Lisa Chandler, controls and runs the office, as well as Bob Hannes. You are still on the phone, right, Bob?
Yep, I'm here.
Bob is management as well. He's operations, so he controls everything in the field as well as the office that pertains to operations. And from the public, if you really wouldn't mind stating your name, whatever you want to state for the record, appreciate it.
Andrew Dominguez.
Frankie?
Ant?
Melina.
Anthony Janet.
Greg Watts, owner user.
Michael Patton.
Tammy Patton. Elaine.
Tom Strezak, owner user.
Jerry Cook.
Kim Cook.
Eva Burst. Cindy Melandro. Sean Snelling.
All right. Thank you all again for attending. Appreciate that very much. Board member reports is agenda item 3. The agenda for this evening's meeting was posted at the office, the post office, Monday, and I did not post it on the website until Tuesday morning, I believe, and then on Facebook as well on Tuesday. And that's the end of my board report. Bob, do you have any?
I do not have anything to add.
Dorothy? Mr. Carter,
I don't have anything.
I might have missed you on,
No,
no, I got you.
we were both talking at the same time.
Yeah, okay, all right. Agenda item 4 is the discussion and possible award of the contract for the Palo Verde Ironwood Mainline Replacement Project that was discussed on July 23rd at the regular board meeting and subsequently tabled to allow the district more time to see if we could qualify for and get a grant or a WIPA partial grant loan that would cover part of this. WIPA is 3 to 6 months out for approval, which definitely would not fit our timeline at all. The county would have already been starting paving, which would have ended up probably costing us about $100,000 more than the bids we received on July 23rd. So we're faced and could not acquire a grant that was within the time frame also. So this is one of those instances where the county surprises the district and there's not a darn thing you can do about it. And Randy, the secretary for the district, is well aware of it. He spent 22 years as our operations manager before Bob Honest took over 2.5, 3 years ago, I guess now, Bob. Bob, do you have anything to add relative to this project?
Relative to the project, I would just say that this is critical that we do it. In the 2.5 years that I've been involved, we've probably repaired lines on Palo Verde and Ironwood probably at least 4 to 6 times. So these are a major problem in the district. The lines are just getting older, and clearly if the county is going to pave, we have to repair them before they pave, or it's going to cost us a lot more down the road.
Right.
All I have to add.
Thank you, Bob. Randy, you've got a lot of experience. Yeah. You got a lot of experience with transite lines and the emphasis on replacing those as much as Bob does, probably. Although he's been in the industry probably a lot longer than you. But
if I may, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
These lines are bad. I mean, on top of it all, what makes it worse, they're very, very shallow. Some places 6 inches, some places actually on top of the ground. That makes it even worse for them. We've had trouble through the years as I was operations manager, and it was on the 10-year plan to replace them. It's just other streets became more important with problems.
Like
I
Galvin.
mean, everybody knows, and everybody that lives on the east side on that section knows the problem, because it gets shut down, and then it takes a while to get them repaired. You have to replace a section. We went through this last month, and we had the 3 bids, and as long as I don't know if any of the bidders are there.
Mr. Chandler is from Chandler Construction.
All right.
That's it.
But I mean, the closest bid, Mr. Chandler is a low bid. Closest to him is $200,000 more. And I mean, he has a proven record in the district. I'm sure there's some people in the audience who don't want to see him get the contract, but if they don't, then they missed one-on-one economics in school, because to me, to spend $200,000 more just because you don't like Mr. Chandler is a little ridiculous. But I mean, the lines have to be replaced, and as you said, the county doesn't give us much of a choice. are gonna go in there and redo the streets. And if we don't replace the lines, they will just do it. And then they will not let us dig up the street. We will have to bore every single crossing. And when you mentioned $100,000 more, that's probably just for the boring. That has nothing to do with the extra costs would be in materials and labor. So,
Oh, what was I gonna add? I just figured the boring and what it would cost. What's the additional material and parts?
well, I mean, who knows? If parts, I don't know what the total is in material. Let's just say an argument's sake, and I'm not saying this is what it is. If the material's $100,000, it could very well add another $20,000.
Oh,
And that probably would happen right after the first of the year. Prices will definitely go up after the first of the year, they always do. And then you'd have that expense plus the boring. And I'm not saying for sure the boring would be $100,000. It would most likely be more. Boring is very expensive, especially since that soil is hard.
that's a hard
It's a
dig.
hard dig. And it goes much slower boring. I do have familiar with boring. We bored a couple sites in Black Canyon in my tender, 2 on different roads and 1 across the freeway. We bored clean across the freeway.
Once.
And sometimes it's extremely difficult, the costs go up. That no one's gonna give you a price and say the boring is X amount and that's it. There's gonna be clauses in there.
Oh, yeah,
So,
because of the hard dig, right.
We're pretty much compelled to do this project.
Okay, all right, let's leave that right there. Jed, do you have any thank you, Randy. Do you have any comments, Jed?
I would just reiterate what Randy was saying about, we historically take Mr. Chandler's bid because it's more feasible and more reasonable than, what's the point of spending $200,000 for the same job?
Here? Okay.
$200,000 more,
Yeah, well, it's actually $300,000 more, 301,000 more was the next bid over Chandler Construction. And then the other bid was $1,556,444, so that was multiples of Mr. Chandler's bid. So there you have it.
Yeah, so, I mean, if anybody thinks that's reasonable, that's laughable.
Oh, the 1.5?
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Well, you throw a number at it, once in a while you get lucky. So the bids were Chandler Construction at $387,000. The next bid was $688,090, and the last bid was $1,000,005 plus. Okay.
That great call sheet you gave me is called.
Dorothy, do you have any comments? Okay. I think we've covered it.
Pretty covered.
We have a motion to award the Palo Verde Ironwood Mainline Replacement Project to Chandler Construction in the amount of $387,000.
I'll make such a motion.
All right, Randy Ravina so moves. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Jed Carter seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries unanimously. Tony, Mr. Chandler, do you have any additional comments on the scope of that project and the difficulty level, or?
The difficulty is mostly going in between all the lines and trying to stay out of the street. But there's a lot of lines going through there, and they're putting all them new lines in for the communication. But we've crossed a lot of stuff, so it's not gonna be a problem with this.
There are a lot of crossings on that,
A lot of crossings.
a lot of crossings, which would have just driven that boring cost out of sight, I think. and I think Randy concurs, and you being the operator
Yeah.
would attest to that as well. Okay, thank you. Tony, you gotta go to work with Bob, and I'm sure that Randy will be involved in it as well, as you well know. Thank you all for that. Agenda item, the last agenda item is public call. So, has anybody written down any comments, suggestions, concerns that they would like to bring up that the board can get?
I have a question. Right, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
When does it start?
As soon as possible.
Okay.
Tony,
What's that?
when do you anticipate the start date? Within next week sometime?
Be sometime that we gotta get the permits.
Oh, well, that's gonna delay you a
And
week
we
or
gotta,
whatever.
we gotta pay for the permits and we gotta get the blue stuff.
Blue stake and permits.
Yeah. As soon as that's done, we'll be ready to go.
And do we have a treasury report?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Do we have a treasury report? I mean, we're not.
No,
getting
this is,
Anything extra?
it's a special board meeting. There's one agenda item that's critical and we just discussed it.
I
which-
understand that, but I guess I was thinking of what our bottom line was. He came in a little bit, and I think he's awesome because he's local. I just wanna know, is our water bill gonna go up, I guess? Is there enough money in the coffers for it? No?
There are adequate funds
That's fine,
for this project.
thank you.
Cindy, yeah,
I'm just wondering, since the county
Melandro, sorry.
let you know that they're gonna, repave, dig up the street, what exactly are they gonna do?
They're a little of both, but mostly they are repaving those two roads.
So they're really not gonna be doing any digging up? I was just wondering if it doesn't matter then, my question. I was thinking that maybe there could be some cooperative activity there where they dig up and, you know, but that doesn't work that way.
We had that one on the
Yes,
sheet.
ma'am. What was your name?
My name is Kim Cook. I have
Kim
a
Cook.
quick question about, how long have you known that this has been needed, and is there a time frame that you can apply for grants well ahead of like a month ago?
Well, my investigation with the grants were running months and months. Randy?
Yeah.
When the county dropped this bombshell on us, which was what, maybe, well, not long before July 23rd, because we put it on that agenda as soon as we knew about it, when you heard from Verl or whoever it was that you spoke with from the county.
Yeah, when I talked to the county, I was talking to them about another project that they're gonna do, which is Abbott Street and, Buckskin Court. And they told me they were gonna do that, and I told them, we need to back off, we need to raise the lines there also. And during that conversation, then he tells me, well, we're also gonna redo, because I figured, well, we'll put this project on hold and put that one ahead of it. When he told me, well, we're also gonna, I asked some questions about Palo Verde and Ironwood, as far as re-blacktopping and different things, and boring Mud Springs Road. And then he told me, well, we're also going to redo Abbott Street and Buckskin Court. And that's the first I heard about that. And then when he told me about that they're going to redo Abbott Street, Palo Verde and Ironwood, I said, wait a minute, that's not on your plan. They sent me the plan a couple months prior, and none of this was on their plan, their 5-year plan. And that's how the county is. They realize they have extra funds,
And boom.
so they just start running streets. And I don't understand it. But
So
unfortunately for us, we don't have the county's funds. And we can't just drop on a dime typically and start pouring out money on streets. But I'm hoping these other streets, we can get money before they've got to be done. They gave us till spring on those.
on Palo Verde and Ironwood was spring, correct?
At the latest.
And they wanted to do it
Abbott
this
Street.
year.
The other two streets are spring. So spring is 6 months away at the most. But
Yeah.
in 22 years that I was operations manager, I could never get a straight answer from the county. So I don't expect you're gonna get it now.
Well, beating them
So,
to the paving is about all you can do when they throw this at it. But I'm very grateful that you pushed them to the limit and said, we're not gonna have this repiped until spring. And then they
yeah,
put,
well, we can't. I mean, they've had to go to bid. The other one is out for bid now. You know, you need time. The contractor, I know you asked how soon Tony would start. He's got to get the permits from the county. You have to get the material and make sure he can get it all immediately. That could all throw delays on.
that's Tony's problem.
But I don't know, it is Tony's problem, but it also becomes a district's problem. Because, material is difficult to get, some of it. I know that already. Saddles, for instance, the cork stops, they may have in stock and they may not.
6 inch
Gone
or
through
4
that for
inch?
years.
6 or 4 inch?
And, no, it's all, Palo Verde 9 was all 6 inch.
Okay.
Everything, 6 inch.
Okay.
Yep. It's 4 inch in there now, but we're replacing it with 6. And it's the 4 inch is simply too small.
Okay. Thank you, Randy. Transite, be right with you. Transite lines are cement and asbestos, correct, Bob?
That is correct.
And asbestos is no good, and when you have lines in the ground that are 60 to 70 years old, they start breaking down, and when they do that, little fibers start to enter the water, and it's already past the filtration system. So, fortunately, this is a big part of the remaining transite lines that we have in the ground, hopefully. Yes, ma'am.
Just a little follow-up to the original question is, so we have time to apply for grants then for the Abbott Street, correct?
They're doing it in the spring.
You can't apply for the grants now?
I can apply for the grants.
And-
We can apply for the grants now and
Yeah.
do this.
I mean, I would think that would be worth the effort.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Just one, thank you.
Work. You bet. Hopefully, well, this should all run smooth. Any other comments, Bob?
I do not have any further comments.
Jed?
No comment.
And Randy?
No, I have no other comments.
Okay. Any other, Ms. Clayton?
When you're talking about grants in reference to her question, are you talking about WIFA loans that are partially grants or actual grants?
Both.
Both. Have you, okay. And there was no posting of this meeting in the post office yesterday or today. And then, so if it's grants,
Well, it was there. That I know, because
No, it wasn't.
I double
I
checked
put
it.
it in.
okay.
Some
Anyway.
people take them down. I did put it in.
And, that's it. I'll get Robert's
Okay.
request later.
Yeah, Greg.
If the county has to spend the money by the end of the fiscal year, could they by chance put it in a separate account and freeze it? And then they can activate it when we're ready? Okay.
Doesn't work like that with the county. That
Well,
I
I
do
just
know.
try.
That I do know.
Do you think they would just give it to us?
Ms. Clayton,
Where's the money for this project coming from? Capital funds?
capital improvements, yes.
Okay, so, my understanding is that there's X amount of dollars that has to remain in capital funds, so can you tell us what the total that's in there now the total that has to remain, and then the total that will be spent on this project?
I could roughly, since this does pertain to this job as far as financing it, I could roughly tell you what's there. There is no minimum. There is a minimum set by the board, and it's been that way forever, that we try to keep a minimum of 75,000, if at all possible, but there is no law, no requirement. It's something the board did. When did you do that, 20 years ago, Randy?
Yeah, 20 years ago, decided, 75,000, wanted to always maintain in case of a real emergency for something.
Right.
And, so far, the board has always maintained that.
So what's in there now?
Approximately $470,000, approximately.
So this project will pretty much deplete the money available for capital fund projects. So
No.
where would you anticipate getting the money for the Abbott Street Buckskin Court project?
That will accrue every single month, the amount of money that goes into capital improvements.
You think you'll have enough money to pay for all of that?
However, we can't go down the Buckskin Court because that is not, and the Abbott, that's not on the agenda. But capital improvement funds are paid for by every user of the water that pays their water bill. And every single month, management moves that money into the capital improvement at least once a month. So it will build up every single month. That's how we got to at least 470, 75,000, maybe 80, I don't know. I haven't looked at it in a month. Anyone else?
Well, perhaps you should look at your records request, because I've asked for an accounting of capital funds and I haven't gotten it.
They're stated every single board meeting, January,
An itemized
July
list.
23rd.
Itemized list of
Speaking.
what it's been spent on.
Speaking. July 23rd, there was a report on the financials that is always done, and it's there, and you can request it. There is no spreadsheet or report on every dime nickel that is spent. It would take, if I asked you to do that,
We're talking capital improvement funds, not the petty account.
okay.
Okay, they're interrupting,
Anybody else
please.
on public call?
I'm just curious, we've been gone for 3 months, so what material are we replacing these lines with? Is it plastic, is it ductile iron?
It's well, Randy says they're all 6-inch,
Right.
C900, essentially a plastic composite.
Right, okay.
It's a special, but
I put them in, so I just was
Yeah.
like plastic or.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's usually what most water lines
Okay.
are from one end, even on new home builds.
Okay.
Nothing else? Okay. Meeting's adjourned. Our next board meeting is September 24th. So the time is 5:29. Thank you again, everyone.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Dick.
Thank you, Chad. Randy.
No, I was planning on getting one in here, so I better have my.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
So you didn't check out front by the table, where we were by the table?
No, I know I brought it back here. I'm sure one of these folks got it.
No,
Huh?
not recently.
A lot of work, man.
I mean, she was fine, and so she's pretty much having failure, yeah.
I shouldn't have taken it until after the meeting.
Camera off there, Tom.